We were sitting in the room that day, ready to hear a sermon from one of our classmates. We had already heard one, and the quick glance around the room revealed some droopy eyelids, slumped postures, and a few already doodling in their notebooks. The focus this week was preaching for the Advent Christmas season, so I wondered what 3 points the person would make, and what poem she would use to finish off the sermon. But she took to heart the fact that the course was on how to use imagination in preaching, and towards the very beginning reminded us that if we wanted to understand what the birth of Jesus really means, we should take the manger found in most sanctuaries, break it up, and use the pieces to fashion a cross. Let me tell you, that opened eyes, brought people straight up in their seats, and stopped all the doodlers. Wow, what a remark. What an audacious, totally expected line. Totally unexpected, because we do not like to talk about death at any time, even clergy, and especially students in seminary. Totally unexpected, because we don't associate death with this holiest of seasons, but rather joy, wonder, hope, life, birth. Totally unexpected, because it was the truth that lies behind the reason God chose to become one of us. In becoming fully human, God was willing to experience all that we live. The scraped knees, the childhood illnesses, the noises in the dark which keep us awake. God was willing to know the uncertainty and questions of adolescence, and the doubts and fears who are faithful companions as we mature into adulthood. God was willing to experience puppy love and the anguish of a broken heart. God was willing to know the grace of soulmates and the despair of your best friend turning their back on you. And God was willing to experience death. Now, I'm not talking about the various theories of atonement, which I know all too well. I'm not talking about the recent theological discussions about the crucifixion being an act of cosmic child abuse. I am just thinking, uncomfortably, as our classmate challenged us to do on that day, of the fact that death is a part of the Christmas story. It is what Simeon reminds Mary and Joseph of in the temple. Death is the shadow behind the bright star shining over the manger. Death is the one constant every day of Jesus' life, just as it is in ours. As I grow older, I find myself taking great comfort in the fact that Jesus died. Not in any sacrificial blood, he came to save our bacon, he had to die for our sins comfort, but simply in the realization that by dying, Jesus affirmed what took place in that moment of birth. God with us. Emmanuel is with us all the way. In the joy of birth, through the terrible twos, enduring adolescence, struggling to be adult, learning a new life in maturity. God is with us all the way, even into and through the uncertainty and fears of death. If the birth we celebrate is God's gift of love, perhaps the death is Jesus' great gift of love for his friends, for his enemies, for us, reminding us, as the psalmist does, that when we come to the end, God is with us. D is for death.